Texting seems like the perfect form of communication. It's instant, it works 24/7, and it's right there in your pocket. What could be bad about it? Well, the problem with texting is that there are no rules about how and when to text. This can be stressful when you're texting a guy you really like. When should I text? How long should I take to reply? What are the rules? No worries, I'm going to give you my go-to guide that will take the guesswork out of texting and make things easy for you. These are the rules I tell clients every day, and they really work. Hey ladies, I'm Amy North, and I'm going to give you my go-to guide that will take the guesswork out of texting and make things easy for you. Number 1, be consistent. So much of texting anxiety is worrying that you're coming on too strong or not strong enough. This is an aspect of texting that's much worse than talking in person because you can't read tone and intention, and it's typical to wait hours or days to respond to a message. That's why I think the most important part of texting is to stick to a pretty consistent style and regularity of texting. If you're responding every 2 minutes and suddenly you don't text back for 6 days, it may make him wonder what the deal is. But if you always take a week to respond, then it's not going to have him surprised. Although still probably not the best move if you're trying to get closer to him. Number 2, say goodbye. This one depends on the relationship, but I often advise women who have a lot of trouble around texting to establish an end to every conversation. For example, you're texting back and forth and having a good time. Suddenly, one of you gets busy and doesn't respond for 5 hours. Then, when they do respond, you don't want to text back right away and seem desperate. This can become very confusing. To avoid this, if you've had a good interaction and that you're happy with and you're about to become busy, or even if you're not, then tell him something like, I have to go to work now, it was nice talking to you. This is a great option if it's someone that you've had extended text conversations with. And if you do it, he'll start to do it as well, making for more clear and meaningful communication. Number 3, less is more. These days, texting is a big part of how you communicate and get to know one another early on in the relationship. There's plenty of back and forth, negotiating a date or a hangout. In my opinion, it's a good idea to limit texting as much as possible. Texting is a good way to build a bond, but it's a better way to break one. A few too many missed texts or misunderstandings, and pretty soon the bloom's off the rose. Flirting is fun, but face-to-face is better. Even if you get along great over text, things won't necessarily be the same in person, and vice versa. You could have bad chemistry over texting and be great one-on-one. Just remember, bonding in real life is the goal of dating. Number 4, keep things positive. Texting really can be a minefield. You can say things in person that you'd never say over text because you're able to smile, laugh, and make yourself clear by your tone of voice. When you're texting, you don't have any of these nonverbal cues to make the other person feel comfortable. It can be easy to come off as rude, uncaring, or stuck up when you're texting, especially if the two of you don't know each other very well. Plus, texting conversations tend to be shorter and can end at any time, so every message counts. That's why I recommend you try to keep things positive over text as much as possible. This doesn't mean you can't disagree, but do be careful. If you're someone who likes debate and argument, then wait until you're in person to bring out the big guns. It's way easier to playfully tease in person than it is over text, believe me. And when in doubt, throw in an exclamation mark or an emoji. It's a great way to show him you're having some fun and not taking anything too seriously. Number 5, texting is different than talking. What I mean is that texting is different than a conversation in person in a ton of ways. In some ways it's better, in others worse. Keep this in mind and don't try to have the same interactions over text. If you do, you're going to be disappointed. There are things you can do via text that you can't do in person, so be creative. I like to send my friends memes or photos of what I'm up to. Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all gives us different ways to connect with each other and keep things interesting. Number 6, don't be afraid to be weird. A lot of women think that dating is about trying to seem as normal as possible to attract a guy. The truth is, your quirks are actually what will make a guy like you. So don't pretend to be more normal than you really are. What is normal anyway? As long as you're staying positive, a weird, out of the blue, off the wall comment, joke, or compliment can really liven up the conversation. Women often will stick to the safe conversations and easy responses to avoid scaring a guy off. This can leave the conversation feeling wooden and stale. You want him to be excited to talk to you and wondering what you're going to say next. What's something funny that happened to you that other day? Start with that. This is especially true on dating apps. If you want to stand out from the crowd, this is a great way to do it. Ladies, texting is hard, I know, but if you can remember these 6 rules, then you're on the right track. If you're still having trouble, don't forget to check out attractiontext.com for another free video that'll give you the deep dive on how to text men to get them to come back for more. Simply copy and paste these texts and you'll be dying to see you in real life. That's attractiontext.com. Thanks so much for watching. Do you have any fun texting stories? Leave them in the comments below. I always love hearing from you, and I'll see you next time.